Again, today's edition of Prime News with National News. His Excellency President Paul Biya has chaired the Higher Judicial Council session. The session was held yesterday at the conference hall of the Unity Palace. Let's now revisit some highlights of yesterday's meeting in the following report with Lasha Kingsley.
President Paul Biya has presided over a session of the Higher Judicial Council at the conference hall of the Unity Palace in Yaoundé, Cameroon. The meeting was attended by the 14 permanent and alternate members of the council. At 11 a.m. on Monday, August 10, 2020, members of the council began arriving at the Unity Palace, led by the Vice President, Minister of Justice and Keeper of the Seals, Laurent Essou. The meeting held in the backdrop of renewal of institution with the appointment of new alternate and substantive members and a secretary appointed all by a presidential decree recently. The chairman of the council, President Paul Biya, welcomed the new members. The session examined the integration into the judicial corps of legal probationers who graduated from the recently created Common Law section of the National School of Administration and Magistracy, ENAM. The probationers are products of the special recruitment of English-speaking legal and judicial personnel to the legal innovation to serve in the jurisdiction of appeal courts in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Members of the council were reminded that their opinions and proposals will assist the President of the Republic, Chairman of the Higher Judicial Council, in exercising his constitutional duties as guarantor of the independence of the judiciary and the proper functioning of the state institution. Paul Biya called on members to discharge their duties with tact, objectivity and discernment. During the working session, newly appointed members were sworn into the Higher Judicial Council. The President told them that the oath should serve as a source of inspiration and commitment to the service of a credible justice system that is attached to its principles, endowed with competent personnel and appreciated by citizens. The Higher Judicial Council meeting of this August 10, 2020 is holding 3 years after the last one, which held in 2017.
Minister of Transport Masena Ernest Ngale has sanctioned some individuals following recent road accidents around the localities of Diki, Southwest Region and Benefo around the Bafoussam-Fumban Highway. The sanction is contained in a communique released yesterday. Reports with Audrey Zatsa.
A few days after the accidents that claimed the lives of dozens of persons and leaving many injured in the localities of Ediki in the southwest region and Banefo along the Bafoussam-Fumbot Road, the Minister of Transport Jean-Ernest Ngale Bideye has made the first public appearance on these tragedies through a press release yesterday. According to this release made public, the first accident in Ediki Kumba was due to a head-on collision between two Toyota Hiace transport vehicles registered Southwest 284B and Southwest 489AX respectively, with 2 dead and 30 wounded as casualties, and the second accident in Banefo on the Bafoussam-Fumbot Road, according to the Minister Jean Ngale Bideye, involved a Toyota DNA 300 vehicle registered Northwest 0953F meant for the transportation of goods, owned by Ngo Albert and driven by Nembot Calvin, who clandestinely carried out urban transportation of approximately 80 persons, exposing them to the tragedy that occurred. The minister has therefore imposed sanctions on Nembot Calvin by withdrawing his driver's license and the vehicle registration documents for illegally transporting passengers. Nembot is equally prohibited from sitting for a driving license examination for a period of 5 years for serious violations of the regulations in force. Other sanctions may drop as investigations progress.
An evaluation session to assess the execution rate of projects in the Bamenda City Council area for Bamenda 1, 2 and 3 took place recently at the Regional Delegation of Scientific Research. Bamenda City Council Mayor has reassured councillors and inhabitants of better hygiene and sanitation as well as road projects in the days ahead. Charles Keba reports from the Northwest Region.
Bamenda City Council session held Friday, August 7, 2020 at the conference hall of the Regional Delegation of Scientific Research Upstation. During the Grand Session, Grand Councillors of Bamenda 1, 2, and 3 evaluate the execution rate of projects in the Bamenda City Council area, which is set to be at 75% with other envisaged projects in the days ahead.
We started with the sanitation, which was a challenge. We're about 95% gone into that dimension. Our second vision was to give Bamenda better roads, which we are actually watching. We are actually at the study stage. We're doing the studies of the road projects which we want C2T to finance. We're looking forward at the issue of the World Bank project. And in terms of roads, the city mayor is making everything possible within the limited financial resources to purchase and procure equipments for the execution of road maintenance.
Bamenda City Mayor Paul Achombong explained to the Grand Councillors what the Bamenda City Council has done so far since in office, reassuring the Grand Councillors and the inhabitants of the city of Abakwa that after the City Council's fight on hygiene and sanitation, which was a challenge in the days ahead, will envisage or engage on road projects.
We will be here before the end of September. We'll be able to execute, complete most of our roads, maintain some of them, and certainly, why not, open new ones.
The city mayor Paul Achombong also pledged his determination to help 1,000 motor taxi riders in the city of Bamenda get Category A license required for bike riders. The session was in attendance by the SGO for Mezam alongside his Etat Major.
Speculations suggest that the Bororo community might be heavily affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. The speculation was made by Southwest Regional Delegation of Social Affairs following this year's commemoration of International Day of Indigenous People. Crise tells us more in the following report.
The celebration of the 12th edition of the World Indigenous Day was a week-long activity in Buea. It also served as an opportunity for the Bororo people to highlight some difficulties they are facing.
Some place then there we go. They say that they consider indigenous Bororo people. When you go, they know they consider you. Even small work where they ask them for a holiday job, you can apply like all other people. And so far, Uncle no there for that place, no man no there for that place. You go, we there behind.
Added to these are other aspects such as the absence of social amenities such as potable water, good healthcare system among others, making the Bororo people to be more vulnerable to the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite these challenges, no case of COVID-19 has been recorded in the over 4,000 inhabitants of the Bororo community in the Southwest region. This makes them a partner in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our community, we first congratulate them for respecting these measures because up to now we don't have any case of COVID-19 within the Bororo community. And they should also share their good practice with their traditional medicine, with the community surrounding them.
Speaking during this event questioned COVID-19 and indigenous people resilience, the governor's representative applauded the regional delegation of social affairs for such initiative to celebrate the Bororo people, while calling on other partners to assist this vulnerable group to prevent the pandemic from encroaching into their communities.
I want to challenge Cameroonians that the preamble of our constitution gives special attention to this group of persons. So I want to challenge each one of us to our consciences that rightly or wrongly, some people look at them like, no, these people, they're different from all of us, but we are all human beings, and together we make Cameroon a better place.
To crown the day, spectators were thrilled with a friendly football encounter played among the youth of the Bororo community. Food and hygiene materials were also handed over to the Bororo people.
We now revisit the story of bee attack on a trader's shop at the New Daido market. A swarm of bees reportedly filled a clothing shop over the weekend, leaving no one hurt thanks to the intervention from the Army Rescue Unit. Eileen Sama reports.
The swarm of honeybees is said to have stung or hurt nobody around the shop it visited at the New Daido market in Douala Littoral region, but only infested the cloth showcased in this shop, according to sources. Business persons, vendors and passers-by in the area found it hard to comprehend what they saw that fateful day at the New Daido market in the Douala 1 municipality. It was also hard to tell where the bees swarmed from and if the occurrence is natural or mystical. However, some elements of the Army Rescue Unit in Douala were alerted and reported to the scene, wore protective gear, wrapped up the clothes together with the bees and carried them away to prevent any casualties. The owner of the shop, whose name was not revealed at press hour, was also taken away by police officers of the 9th District Police Station Douala for proper investigations.
A gang of suspected thieves have been apprehended in Fumban West region. Security officials say the 3 men specialized in car theft in and out of the community will be brought to book. Nora Kakebi completes the story in the following report.
Car theft has been on the rise in our societies, though it was uncommon in the recent past. Recently, some cars were recovered from suspected robbers and a gang of carjackers in Fumban in the West region. 3 young men were caught recently in Fumban after having stolen a fleet of cars in that community, and it should be noted that these young men have been diagnosed as specialists in car theft and have been into this act for quite a while until this unfortunate day for them. According to the security officials, they will not relent in their efforts to curb crime wave and check the high rates of insecurity in the community. The gendarmerie company commander in Fumban, after thorough investigation, confirmed that the suspects, Payang Ibrahim, 36, Njibusa, 23, and Yaya Husseini, 23 years old, were caught and presented to the population. They have been kept behind bars while awaiting justice to take its course.
2 kids have been confirmed dead at Pekadis in Douala after consuming lunch at their home. The unfortunate incident happened yesterday as a student journalist on internship, Emanuela Ngela, tells us in the following reports.
The incident happened at Pekadis neighborhood. According to family sources, the children died after eating rice and sardines. The children complained of malaise around 9 p.m. after consuming the food and were taken to a private clinic where they gave up the ghost at 1 a.m. on August 10, 2020.
Let's now get into other countries in the African continent. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, at least 19 civilians have been killed and 2 others wounded in attacks on 3 villages in the troubled eastern province. Witnesses say the attackers used machetes on some civilians while others were shot dead. Since December 2017, violence in DR Congo has killed thousands and forced many to flee their homes. In Nigeria, security forces in Nigeria have arrested 8 people suspected of involvement in recent attacks in Kaduna. According to the head of the Special Military Task Force, the suspects were arrested in South Kaduna with weapons in their possession. Their arrest comes days after a deadly attack in Kaduna, which left close to 30 people dead. And it's on that note that we close today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for being a part. The news was produced by Ewan Eli Nolinga, coordinated by Faith Tata Berenyoy. I am Genda Pelgin Blanche King. Until we meet again tomorrow, 6:30, for another edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Prime Hour. Enjoy it. Good night.